In the remote waters of the northern Pacific, marine researcher Alex had a jaw-dropping encounter with a killer whale that left him stunned. As he observed the magnificent creature, the killer whale did something that sent shivers down his spine, something unexpected. It was a moment that would change Alex's understanding of these remarkable animals forever. He knew he needed to get out of there quickly, but maybe he was already too late. Alex knew the animal did not want to eat him, but her actual plan for him would turn out to be far, far worse than anything he could have imagined. But what was the killer whale planning to do? How had Alex gotten into this situation, and would he make it out of here alive? Alex had been studying the behavior of killer whales on and off for the past 10 years. He had been fascinated by these animals ever since he was a little kid, and as a marine biologist, he really felt like he was living the dream. Alex set out on a short expedition in the Pacific Northwest with 2 other researchers. The first couple of days went over relatively smoothly without any sightings of killer whales. The team managed to focus on their tasks, and eventually even reached the ice caps, where they could study how rapidly the ice was declining and what species of animals still called these places their home. There were 3 smaller boats that the biologists could use to get a closer look at the ice caps. They could also use these to collect samples, for example. So, when they had anchored their boat near the ice caps, all 3 men set out in a different direction in order to cover as much ground as possible. They planned to meet back up in 4 hours to discuss their findings. He could not even see the boat anymore at this point, and was wondering if he might have gone too far. What could he find here that he could not find closer to safety? Alex was about to turn his little boat around when he suddenly saw something in the water right in front of him. Suddenly, a giant killer whale appeared and scared the pants off Alex. Killer whales were not exactly known to eat humans, but he could not help but feel like he was an easy prey here. Seconds later, Alex did not even see the orca, but he most definitely felt it, as his small rubber boat suddenly lifted a bit in the air. The orca had managed to get underneath and almost capsized him. Going back to the boat was no option, as it was way too far away. But staying on this small, doomed boat also seemed foolish, with the orca once again making a charge in his direction. Alex made his way to the nearest large ice cap as fast as he could, but luckily, by some miracle, he managed to get the small rubber boat to the ice. It surprised him that the boat was even still drivable on the ice cap. Alex had to catch his breath a little bit. His heart was still racing out of control. The orca was just circling the iceberg that Alex was sitting on, occasionally poking his head up out of the water. It seemed like this animal wanted something else from him, and he had no idea how he was going to find that out. Could it be that this animal was asking him for help? Subtle shifts in the orca's fins, eyes, and vocalizations hinted at deeper emotions and intentions he'd previously missed in his studies. Alex soon became acutely aware of the passage of time. The sun had shifted noticeably in the sky. Would his team start to wonder where he was? The orca's next move was wholly unexpected. Drawing closer to the boat, it nudged it gently yet firmly in a manner that seemed deliberate. There was an allure, a potential discovery on the horizon that made the prospect of re-entry enticing. With a deep, steadying breath, Alex made his decision. Upon starting the boat, Alex noticed the orca move with newfound purpose. It swam ahead gracefully, cutting through the water but periodically glancing back to ensure he was in tow. Alex's focus narrowed, centering only on the orca's trajectory. Doubts began to whisper in the back of Alex's mind. Had he been too impulsive? Was this journey a descent into madness? The rhythmic splashes and engine hum ceased, and an encompassing stillness fell. The orca, having been a beacon of guidance, now floated motionless beside the boat. Alex scanned the horizon, a pang of unease creeping in. The featureless expanse of the open sea met his gaze, leading him to question, "Have we arrived? If so, what exactly is our destination?" With a sudden burst of energy, the orca dove, its vast body disappearing effortlessly into the depths below. Alex was left in intense anticipation, gazing into the fathomless blue, pondering what secrets lay beneath. An exultant burst of water heralded the orca's return. But this time, she wasn't alone. Beside her swam a smaller, more delicate form. It was a calf, its curious eyes fixed on Alex. A beautiful scene unfolded as the mother gently nudged her offspring, introducing him to the world above, and more specifically, to Alex. As the calf swam in circles, playfully exploring, Alex noticed something odd, a net fragment wrapped around its fin. Was this the reason for their epic journey? Trapped, gathering courage, Alex started the boat's engine, intending to leave the vicinity and give the orcas space. But the mother, with calculated precision, blocked his path, her formidable body acting as an unyielding barrier. "There has to be a way out," he murmured to himself, scanning the icy walls for a possible exit. Then, amidst the icy facade, he spotted it. A narrow passageway where the ice seemed thinner, possibly weakened by currents. A beam of hope cut through his rising fear. If he could navigate through that opening, he could reach open waters. Taking a deep breath, he shifted the boat's gears, plotting his route carefully, and began moving towards what he hoped was freedom. The boat's engine roared, slicing through the frigid water as Alex pressed onward. He could hear the splashes behind him, the rapid thrashing signifying the calf's pursuit. Glancing over his shoulder, he saw the young orca, its eyes filled with fiery determination. Amidst the vast stretch of icy waters, a silhouette emerged on the horizon. Squinting against the glare, Alex recognized the distinct shape of the research boat. Elation surged within him. Rummaging through his equipment, he retrieved a flare, igniting it with trembling hands. The bright red flame pierced the sky, serving as a desperate beacon against the backdrop of the setting sun. Through his binoculars he could make out familiar faces, all focused in his direction, their expressions a mix of concern and hope. The powerful hum of the research boat's engines reverberated through the water, causing the orcas to cast wary glances. Their majestic black and white figures began to retreat, merging with the shadows of the ocean's depth. He allowed himself a deep sigh of relief, grateful for the brief reprieve. The strong hands reached out, pulling Alex aboard the research vessel. The familiar, comforting scent of the boat engulfed him, contrasting starkly with the cold sterility of the sea. His colleagues wrapped him in warm blankets, their eyes reflecting a blend of relief and curiosity. Shivering, both from cold and adrenaline, Alex began recounting his harrowing ordeal, forever changed by his intimate encounter with nature's wild side.